Yes, you can heal your arthritis. You can cure it, you can recover from it. I know this because I have done it and many other people have done it. If you don't know me, my name is Andrew. I'm a nutritionist and I recovered from hip arthritis, and I did a video on this several months ago now on the process that I followed to recover from hip arthritis. From being told I needed a hip replacement, x-rays with bone on bone, which are linked in my community tab here on YouTube, lots of pain, bad sleep, seriously bad mobility, and I did not have a hip replacement. And that video explains to you the process that I went through. And I'm running again. I'm running 7-minute miles, 6.5-minute miles, 4-minute Ks. I'm really mobile and I sleep well and I don't have pain anymore. So I have cured my hip arthritis, and yet somehow a lot of people tell me I have not, because apparently you can not do that. Well, clearly you can. And I think it comes down to what your definition is of cure or heal. So I'm going to go into that a little bit so that you aren't put off if you're trying to resolve your arthritis. Don't be put off by the people who tell you it can't be done. Now, I did also a video, interesting video on cartilage and the biology of cartilage and how it works and how it's built up and what parts of cartilage, what aspects of cartilage will recover or regenerate and when it won't, okay? Because it gets in the weeds a little bit and it can be a little bit complex. So you probably should watch that as well if you're going through some journey with arthritis and trying to make the right decisions. But as far as I'm concerned, if, like in my case with my hip, I went from barely being able to get in and out of a car, not being able to climb on and off a bicycle. I had to stand over the bicycle while it was lying down and then pick it up between my legs. I've gone from that to racing bicycles, mountain bikes, and running in the mountains again. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm cured. Now, I have an x-ray that shows the gap in the joint is now expanded. It's open again. It's no longer bone on bone. So there's some evidence. I don't need the x-ray. I know, I can feel my life has changed. I have my mobility back and the pain is gone. For me, that's what matters. And for you, if you have arthritis, the two things that matter are the pain and the lack of mobility. And you want to do whatever you can do to resolve the pain and restore your mobility. Now, one option is a joint replacement. Of course, there's no guarantee that it always works. There are plenty of stories of people who have had a hip replacement and then it's collapsed on them. Fortunately, I think nowadays it's more successful, but it's a big procedure. It takes a lot of recovery. It can be incredibly expensive. So it really depends where you live. It depends what procedure is done, because there are different techniques. It depends who your surgeon is. And it depends on the extent of the damage and how bad the arthritis is, because you may be able to just resolve it the way I did, with proper nutrition, with cutting out inflammatory substances like smoking and alcohol and sugar, and getting the right balance between rest and exercise. Now, you can rest and exercise at the same time. It depends what you're exercising and how you are resting, and I've done a video on that as well. I'm going to link all these videos in the notes down below here. But surely, if you restore your mobility and you get rid of the pain, you wouldn't know whether or not you had ever had arthritis. Does that not count as cured? Oh no, say the doctors, you can't cure. If you have a scan, you will still see arthritis or the evidence of arthritis or the vestiges of arthritis, and therefore it's not cured. All right, here's my question. You break your leg, okay? You break the bone like this, separated. You go into the hospital, they put you in traction, they reset the bone, they put your leg in plaster. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long it takes, the bone rejoins, it grows new bone and reconnects, and the plaster comes off and you're off and mobile again. Maybe you need some physiotherapy to strengthen the muscles up again, but in time you're completely back to normal. Has that healed? Well, of course it has. If you have an x-ray on that bone, can you still see the break? Yes, you can. You can see where the break was and where the new bone laid down, and it's like a patch, and you can see it, and you will see it for the rest of your life. That doesn't mean it's not healed. It's healed. So this nonsense about you can and can't heal arthritis, it's just a ridiculous argument. Now, you can use the word heal, cure, resolve. I don't care what terminology you use. I resolve my pain, I resolve my mobility. As far as I'm concerned, I'm cured. Now, that's not to say that somehow it might not come back again later in life. That's possible. People are telling me that too. You're just putting off the inevitable. You need a hip replacement, and if you don't have it now, you'll need it in 5 years' time or 10 years' time. That's like saying, go and put your leg in plaster because you might break it next week. If I need a hip replacement in 10 years' time and it's unavoidable, then I will have it in 10 years' time. I'm not going to have it now if I don't need it now. That is a completely ridiculous argument as well. So if you are struggling with arthritis and you are hoping to be able to avoid or put off major surgery, which is going to cost you a lot of money, there are other options, and at least be sure that you've explored the other options before you commit to surgery, which should always be the final option with dealing with anything. Now, obviously, there will be times when that is absolutely necessary, and it will improve your quality of life. And there are a lot of very good surgeons out there who are very good at it. But when you speak to a surgeon, your surgeon is going to discuss surgery with you. Doctors talk about medicine. Nutritionists talk about food. Physiotherapists want to give you exercises. So you must understand that the person you're speaking to is a specialist in one particular field, and you need to understand, or try to understand as best you can, your situation from a sort of overall perspective, taking everything into account. So go and watch my video on how I resolved my arthritis, or cured, or healed, or whatever you want to call it, and realize that this is your problem. If you have arthritis, it's your issue to deal with. And wouldn't you love to get rid of all the pain, be able to sleep through the night without being woken up, and have all your movement restored? Would you not consider that to be healed? I think you would. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with anybody else who's struggling with arthritis, because it's a really, really difficult journey, and it can be quite a lonely journey, but it doesn't need to be, because a lot of people are going through this. And when you watch my video, go and look at the comments. Go and look at the comments from hundreds of other people who have done the same thing that I did. Some of them before I did. I just made a video about mine, and see how easily you can at least make some progress towards lessening your pain and restoring some, if not all, of your mobility. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and let us know if you are on a journey like this, how it goes. Please share with us, because that's what we're here for. The point of this channel is to share and support each other.